Let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself right now. If someone showed you a version of yourself from exactly 90 days from today, a version that wakes up with a clear head, moves with a sense of direction, and actually feels proud of the life they are building, would you recognize that person? Or would that person feel like a stranger to you? Because here is the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Most people are not stuck because life is hard. Most people are not stuck because they are unlucky, or because the timing is wrong, or because the world is unfair. Most people are stuck because they are unknowingly running the same day on repeat. Same habits, same thoughts, same excuses dressed up in different clothes. And the terrifying part is that it feels completely normal. It feels like life, but it is not life. It is a loop. And you have been living inside it longer than you realize. This video is not here to make you feel good. It is not here to give you a quote to screenshot or a list to forget by tomorrow. This video exists to show you the exact reason your life has not moved the way you wanted it to, and more importantly, what you can do about it starting today, not Monday, not next month. Today. Because 90 days from now, you will either look back and say that was the moment everything shifted, or you will look back and realize you watched this video and did absolutely nothing. And only one of those is acceptable. So let us get into it. Here is what nobody tells you about change. Change does not happen because you want it badly enough. Change does not happen because you watched enough videos or read enough books or felt motivated on a Sunday night. Change happens when your environment, your identity, and your daily actions are all pointing in the same direction at the same time. Right now, for most people, those three things are pointing in completely different directions. You want progress, but your environment is designed for comfort. You want discipline, but your identity still belongs to the old version of you. You want results, but your daily actions are still the same ones that produced everything you are trying to escape. That is the real problem. Not lack of effort, misalignment. And here is why 90 days is the number that actually matters. Your brain is not built for giant leaps. It is built for patterns. When you expose your brain to a new pressure, a new standard, a new way of operating consistently for 90 days, it stops treating that new thing as a threat and starts treating it as normal. That is the science. That is also why most people fail at change in 2 weeks. They try to flip their entire life overnight. Their brain pushes back hard. They interpret that resistance as failure and they quit. But that resistance is not failure. That resistance is actually the signal that something real is happening. You just have to know what to do with it. So here is exactly how 90 days breaks down. And I want you to pay very close attention, because this framework is not about motivation. This is about architecture, building a structure that makes your new life almost impossible to escape. The first 30 days are not about building anything. I know that is not what you want to hear. Everyone wants to jump straight to the building phase, straight to the results, straight to the transformation. But if you try to build on top of a cluttered foundation, everything you build will eventually collapse. The first month is about one thing and one thing only: subtraction. You have to identify everything in your current life that is quietly keeping you small. The mindless scrolling that eats 2 to 3 hours of your sharpest mental energy every single day. The conversations that drain you but you keep having because you are too comfortable to change them. The false busyness that makes you feel productive while actually keeping you perfectly still. These things are not harmless. They are the invisible ceiling above your life. And until you remove them, nothing else works. This month, you are also going to do something that sounds almost too simple to matter. You are going to get honest about your identity. Not who you want to be, who you currently believe you are. Because most people are unconsciously loyal to a version of themselves that was built years ago from other people's opinions, old failures, and repeated stories. That old identity is comfortable. It knows how to justify staying small. It knows exactly what to say to talk you out of every opportunity. And it will absolutely fight back during this first month. When your brain says this is too hard or this is not for someone like me, that is not wisdom. That is the old version of you protecting its own existence. Let it fight. It will lose if you stay consistent. The second 30 days are where everything gets built. But here is the rule, and it is the only rule that matters in this phase. One thing. Not 5 things. Not 3 things. 1. Pick the single skill, habit, or area of your life that, if you actually developed it seriously, would change everything else. For some people, that is their physical health, because their energy is so low that nothing else can function properly. For some people, that is a professional skill, because the right capability would open doors that have been closed for years. For some people, it is their mind, learning to think clearly, make better decisions, stop operating from anxiety and reaction. Whatever it is for you, that one thing becomes your entire focus this month. You water 1 plant, not 30. 1. And here is the uncomfortable part about this phase. It will be boring. Deeply, relentlessly boring. Repetition always is. But the people who have actually built something real, who have genuinely transformed an area of their life, all of them will tell you the same thing. The secret was never the strategy. The secret was the willingness to keep doing the boring thing on the days when nothing felt like it was working. Discipline does not come from being extraordinary. It comes from being ordinary, consistently, for long enough that the results become extraordinary. That is the whole game. The third 30 days are the phase most people completely ignore. And it is the phase that determines whether everything you built in the first 2 months actually lasts or quietly falls apart the moment life gets difficult again. This phase is about engineering your environment so that your new identity is the path of least resistance. Think about that for a second. Most people try to maintain their new habits through willpowers alone. Willpower is a finite resource. It depletes, it fails under stress, under tiredness, under pressure. But your environment does not deplete. It just exists. So if your environment is still set up for the old version of you, your willpower is going to lose eventually. It always does. This month, you make deliberate design choices about every part of your surroundings. What you see first thing in the morning, what you consume, and how often. Who you spend your time with, and what those conversations reinforce in you. Whether the people closest to you are pulling you towards the person you are becoming or quietly anchoring you to the person you are trying to leave behind. This is not about being cold or cutting people off carelessly. This is about understanding that your environment is either your greatest asset or your greatest liability, and you get to decide which one it is. Now, I need to say something directly, because this video does not work if it is not honest with you. Everything you just heard is useless if you treat this like information. The world is full of people who know exactly what they should be doing and still do not do it. Knowledge alone changes nothing. The people who actually flip their lives in 90 days are not the ones who understood the framework the best. They are the ones who got uncomfortable enough with where they were that staying the same became more painful than changing. They are the ones who made a quiet decision somewhere in their chest that this time was different. Not because they had more willpower or more resources or more perfect circumstances, but because they finally stopped waiting for permission to take themselves seriously. Here is the most honest thing I can tell you. 90 days from now, your life will be different. The question is in which direction. If you change nothing, 90 days from now, you will be living with a slightly heavier version of the same frustration you feel right now, because time passing without direction does not bring relief. It brings weight. But if you take what you heard today and actually apply it, 90 days from now, you will be a person with evidence. Real, tangible, undeniable evidence that you are capable of building the life you have been thinking about. And that evidence will do something that no amount of motivation ever could. It will make you believe yourself. There are going to be two kinds of people who watch this video. The first kind will feel inspired for a few hours, maybe even a day, and then life will get noisy again, and this will become another thing they meant to act on. The second kind will pause this video, sit with it for a moment, and make one real decision. Not a big dramatic overhaul. Just one decision about one thing they are going to do differently starting right now. You already know which kind you want to be. The next 90 days are going to pass regardless. Time does not ask for your permission, and it does not wait for you to feel ready. The only real question sitting in front of you right now is what version of yourself will be standing on the other side of them. Because that version is not decided by luck or timing or circumstance. It is decided entirely by what you choose to do today. So what are you going to choose?